Smart cities will make urban areas more livable and fully sustainable. Programmers Foundation is actively working to promote smart city solutions. Over the last decade, Programmers Foundation has been working with the UN World Summit Awards to select, promote, purpose-driven local digital innovation with a strong impact on improving the Nigerian society, given the too many social challenges they face. Amos is tireless in working to improve continental participation in the UN World Summit Awards Global Innovation Competition. In his words, he wants to encourage young people across the African continent to dream, to reach for the sky, and be part of the solution to move Africa forward. Amos Emmanuel has started a grand project. The impact will reverberate for eons. Programmers Foundation is driving the innovation bed to transform Africa and establish smart cities across the continent. The world is changing. Cities are evolving. With adoption and deployment of digital technologies, cities are now more than brick and mortar. They are becoming innovatively functional and aspirational. Communities are becoming smart. Smart cities are the future.
The basic elements required in a smart city: two things: electricity, constant electricity, and high-speed internet.
In a smart city, the goal is to address growing urbanization challenges with a digital framework. A framework is an intelligent network of connected objects and machines that transmit data using wireless technology and the cloud.
A village with electricity and high-speed internet is already smart.
Smart cities can improve energy distribution, streamline trash collection, decrease traffic congestion, and even improve air quality with help from the Internet of Things.
The right leadership with the right vision, I think, can be able to deliver and change some of our cities to smart cities.
Programmers Foundation is today a major advocate for the development of smart and connected communities and cities in Nigeria. The COVID-19 pandemic devastated the world, but it has also demonstrated just how much digital innovations are needed to serve the society. Innovations that make the people smarter, better connected, healthier, precipitating solutions that have a positive impact and relevant local content. Amos Emmanuel, chairman of Programmers Foundation, constant refrain is that change does not happen on its own. It is influenced by people who innovate. He is always calling and urging innovators to rise and occupy leadership positions in every part of the world, particularly in Nigeria. He is a firm believer that the world innovation cannot be complete without leadership contribution from Africa and especially Nigeria. Programmers Foundation Africa, tapping into the growing, the digital awareness, has taken up the challenge to help the continent progress. Programmers Foundation was established in 2009 by Programmers Software Limited, a long-standing leader in the capital market financial technology subsector that saw the need to fund activities help realize the goal to deliver innovation-led ecosystem for Nigerians. Amos Emmanuel, Chairman, Chief Software Architect for Programmers Software Group, is a prolific software designer and entrepreneur. He has served as ICT backbone to numerous financial institutions in Nigeria with over 25 years experience automating and maintaining more than 100 capital market operator organizations in Nigeria and Ghana with the multiple award-winning Cloud Integra. He is a UN World Summit Awards eminent national expert for Nigeria. Programmers Foundation is engaged in significant work. It is helping Africa harness the power of technology. It is teaching Africa to innovate. The impressive and groundbreaking work that Programmers Foundation has pioneered is particularly important in the light of the United Nations UN Decade of Action on the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). The Decade of Action calls for accelerating sustainable solutions to all the world's biggest challenges, ranging from poverty and gender to climate change, inequality, and closing the finance gap. Technology promises to play a larger-than-life role in this quest. Programmers Foundation, through its work, offers Africa a huge chance and gives her a massive advantage. Programmers Foundation may well be Africa's linchpin. Two important segments of Programmers Foundation's multi-pronged approach include the Innovation-Led Africa and Smart City Project. Innovation-Led Africa is playing a strategic role in identifying and promoting indigenous solutions. Since it emerged on the scene, Innovation-Led has made steady progress. Today, it is a go-to organic platform for startups' incubation and multiplication. Without a doubt, Innovation-Led SDGs framework offers Africans a community-based collaborative hub in the areas of mentorship, innovation capacity, development, and entrepreneurship. Indeed, the emergence of an entrepreneurial bespoke IT ecosystem is perhaps the best way to precipitate the growth of the ICT sector with the development of relevant and functional solutions. The way Innovation-Led works is to constantly explore the relationship between technology and broader social issues. Everywhere Africa appears to be behind, Innovation-Led has become a bridge builder, an aggregator, and facilitator. It is spearheading efforts to contribute to efforts to build a digital ecosystem for innovation development in Africa. Innovation-Led has incredible long-standing strategic initiative research partners, including the Global Digital Foundation, ICT4, SIDS, Info Poverty World Conference, Oparazone Global, and Amiable UN World Summit Awards, WSA, eminent national experts from over 180 countries. These alliances have bonded Innovation-Led to advance actions towards the UN Sustainable Development Goal from across the respective countries. The World Summit Awards are a unique award system selecting and promoting local digital innovation to improve society, combining an ongoing series of international events and activities with a global network of startups, social entrepreneurs, mentors, jurors, speakers, experts, government leaders, academia, civil society. WSA is an international platform for cutting-edge examples of how ICTs can impact society positively. Innovation Bed coordinates Nigeria's participation. The vision is clear: to address Africa's greatest socio-economic challenges through innovative technology solutions by offering opportunity platforms for growing quality and knowledgeable generation of startups in the new nation-building transformation agenda. Innovation Bed Startup Opportunities Gateway incubates for promotion, growing innovative African startups and impacting the ecosystem positively. In Nigeria, members of the Innovation Council comprise of outstanding digital entrepreneurs who have at one time or the other researched, designed, and developed great innovation with positive social impact on the Nigerian society and beyond. Programmers Foundation's involvement in technology solutions embraces smart city. First is the appreciation of the fact that a smart city is not a computer. A smart city is a city that uses ICT to increase operational efficiency, share information with the public, and improve both the quality of government services and citizen welfare. The economic realities indicate that as more and more people move to urban areas, cities will struggle to cope with the influx of people. The need to create smart cities is becoming all the more unavoidable. Smart cities will make urban areas more livable and truly sustainable. Programmers Foundation is actively working to promote smart city solutions. Over the last decade, Programmers Foundation has been working with the UN World Summit Awards to select, promote, connect purpose-driven local digital innovation with a strong impact on improving the Nigerian society, given the too many social challenges they face. AMOS is tireless in working to improve continental participation in the UN World Summit Awards Global Innovation Competition. In his words, he wants to encourage young people across the African continent to dream, to reach for the sky, and be part of the solution to move Africa forward. Amos Emmanuel has started a grand project. The impact will reverberate for eons. Programmers Foundation is driving the innovation bed to transform Africa and establish smart cities across the continent.
Right. Okay, good morning all. Right. Good morning, beautiful people. Hi, good morning. Please, let's Oh, Damala is there. Oshinobi, you are here. Do I have my speakers here? I have Dami. Great. I have yeah, Molola. Please let's see ourselves. Let's see ourselves. I mean, it's not easy to come to the third day. That's the grand finale.
Morning, sir.
Good
Yes,
morning.
sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Shotan read one. How you do? How do you do? Yeah, Dami.
Good morning.
That's
Hi,
one
good
of
Doing
morning.
great, sir.
people have jerseys to speak today. Do you know it's like if you want to play in one of these hot clubs? That's how it is with the World Summit projects. Some people have some outside rights, wingers, jerseys, and they're gonna spar today to entertain and of course educate all of us today. And I'm happy to be doing this as the wrap-up day. Moida Mola, thanks for the host. Where is Johnson?
Oh, I think he will join us soon.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, Dami, your word. Let me say good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
No. We'll still celebrate you properly. Don't worry. At your own time, I'll give you the WSA theme song to do your stuff later on.
No, no problem.
Happy to have you. Happy to have you. So
Yeah,
today,
thank you.
we really just want to leverage on the successes that we've made from the last 2 days. And I'm also happy that last night at the 31st anniversary of the Association of Telecom Companies of Nigeria, ADCON, I was one of those honored, at least to be known as one of the 100 professionals of the telecom and digital economy practitioners or people who have impacted. And I don't know, people watch what I do. I just keep doing my stuff. And it's good to, some of you, please engage it. Just do what you keep doing, just keep doing what you find love in doing. And someday people would know about them and they'll be beneficial, of course, to people under you and of course, the society at large. We spoke so much about the World Summit Award. It's a grand project. Nigeria currently is undergoing a major, we're trying to take this to the field. We've actually, before now, identified people with innovation. We've placed their innovation on the global stage. And quite frankly, Nigeria hasn't done badly. I think later in one of the youth ambassador speeches, he was going to share more. And I'm very happy that today we are actually going to do this. Do I have my dear friend, the big comrade? Let me see if I confirm. Let me confirm if I have yeah, let me have if I have Adekiton Isaac Adeyemi in the house yet. Okay, we chatted this morning, perhaps to join later on. And I have, okay, he's to do the first talk on digital marketing and social media strategies. And I probably will say, I may want to see if another speaker can start this. Amos Akirele, no, he's not. Let me confirm, is Amos Moses in the house? Let me take that Amos Moses's paper. Let me take Amos Moses's paper. I hope he gets in. He's going to get in to do that first paper. After his, we can now have the other, and we can have Dami Ojo help us do a wrap up. And of course, when we have over 180 something registrations, I think by now the house should have been full. Over 180 registrations. The house should be full any moment. Okay, great. This is encouraging. Okay, Moses is just in. Moses is just in. I will actually crave the indulgence of the the WSA Youth Ambassador, Amos Oluwatowo Amos, and he will actually give us a spotlighting of the global champion He's going to take us on the taking market-ready actions on SDGs by people under the age of 26. You know, people feel it's only the older people who can innovate, but quite frankly, thousands of young people currently in school under 26 years old are creating wonderful innovations from around the world. So Moses Oluwatowo will do that, and he's actually WSA Youth Ambassador for Nigeria, and of course, Ambassador, of course, is a representative of the Programmers Foundation. What to expect to explore how young people worldwide driving sustainable development goals through groundbreaking solutions and so on. So, Amos, are you ready?
Yeah. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well. Yes, yes.
All right. All right. All right. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, sorry. Please let me just let me try activate every other speaker to also have co-hosts so that you have the ability to share. I saw Dami the other time, and maybe when our other brother and friend and comrade comes in, we'll be able to take and give him his rightful allocation of co-host. So Moses, please, you can take the floor.
Oh, okay, sir. All right, sir. So good morning, everybody. My name is Moses Amos. Moses Amos, like Mr. Amos said, I'm also a World Summit Award Youth Ambassador for Nigeria. And I think Oyindamola can also relate when I say this. We are coming to the final tenure of the first year of this great initiative. I think so. We actually just try to see how we can take advantage of the audience, take advantage of the tools that we have in our region. By the tools that we have in our region, I mean the youths. You see, Nigeria as a country itself has, I think the largest number of under 18 human beings on earth. So you can imagine if we have this amount of people that we can actually take advantage of, like from a government perspective, from a leadership perspective, imagine the amount of people that we can take advantage of. And we just seem to overlook these benefits. We just seem to overlook these benefits. So first, let me just start by introducing myself. But first, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Moses Amos, Ambassador at Software Group. And Programmer Software Group is like the parent organization for Programmers Foundation. And we have also, under the Programmers Foundation umbrella, we have innovation is, we know, an initiative that seeks to promote artificial intelligence literacy. All right. So like I said before, permit me if I'm not sharing my video now, I'm just trying to reduce the load on my bandwidth at the moment. So it seems I'm having some network issues. So, but I'll just go ahead now with the presentation that I have for us today. So let me share my screen. I think Mr. Amos has given me the access for that. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so today we'll be talking about innovations for human capital development. Innovations for human capital development. And I think I also have a sub heading here, empowering people through SDG aligned technology. So when we talk about human capital simply means investing in in uh in let me say simply investing in people. Yes, investing in people. Investing in people. So, like I said earlier, when I spoke about the amount of youths we have in Nigeria, for example, when I spoke about the amount of youths we have in Nigeria, for example, we see that there is no investment going into them whatsoever. There is no investment going into them whatsoever. And the reason for this, definitely, we know that the leadership also has a role to play in this. The leadership also has a role to play in this. But also, Nigeria as a country actually has a very high population. Nigeria has a very high population. So we are not saying that the leadership have this as an excuse to not perform their role, when it comes to developing its people. But at the same time, I believe that we can all come together as innovators to also help enhance the efficiency when it comes to human development. So as individuals, we can all actually choose to invest in people through innovation. So let's start. So we have innovation for human capital development, empowering people through SDG aligned technology. So when we empower people through SDG aligned technology, that is SDG Sustainable Development Goal, right? So what do we mean by Sustainable Development Goal? When it comes to innovation, we are actually working in the present to get a better future. So Sustainable Development Goal simply means that we are actually innovating now, but we are not putting the risk of the future at risk. We're not putting the future at risk, let me say. So SDG, we are innovating now, creating solutions now, but we are not putting the future at risk. So whatever we do now is future-proof. It's not going to harm whatever it is that comes up in future. We are not doing it for the short term. We are doing it for the long term. So this is what we mean by Sustainable Development Goal. So I'll just briefly talk on this few outlines. Sustainable Development Goal, what is human capital development, and human capital development in Nigeria's context, then the role of SDGs in human capital development, then innovations driving human capital development and the benefits of SDG-aligned human capital development schemes. And of course, we know that the reason why we are here today is because we actually are trying to showcase a platform to the people of Nigeria, trying to let them know what WSA does, World Summit Awards, what does it do, and what's its goal in this region. So let's let's go on. So sustainable development, like I said, refers to meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. So we are basically thinking ahead that whatever we do now should either benefit the future or we shouldn't do it at all. And human capital in itself focuses on enhancing skill, knowledge, and the well-being to drive productivity and socio-economic growth. So, like we said, in a country like Nigeria, where we have the amounts of youths on ground, and we seem to not be taking advantage or giving them an environment to grow and think on how to innovate and solve problems, that can benefit now and the future. So what we see is that the under 16s will grow to 20, 30, 40, and they've literally missed a whole decade that they could have used to develop themselves and also now be of benefit to the country in itself or to the society in itself. So without a doubt, we know that Nigeria lacks heavily in human capital development. Nigeria lacks heavily in human capital development. So we said the Sustainable Development Goals provides a framework to improve individuals' capacity, productivity, well-being, and contributing to long-term socio-economic growth. So when we talk about the well-being aspect, you see, even when it comes to developing people, if these people are not in the right state of mind, you end up that you get no results. It's just like if you've not had breakfast and you want to start to study for the day, you may just end up doing 30 minutes or 1 hour, and then you are tired already. So it's the same when it comes to, when you want to create an environment where you develop people, their well-being is number one. It's not even their capacity. Their well-being is number one. After their well-being has been attended to, then we can now start to measure their capacity, because whatever their capacity may be, whatever their performance may be, you still have to take care of the well-being. If they're not in the good state of mind, they're still not going to perform very well. So again, so the SDG aligns with Sustainable Development Goals by expanding access to education, improving health outcomes, and promoting inclusivity in economic opportunities. So Nigeria, like I said, has a young and rapidly growing population, which we should be taking advantage of now, but we currently are not. So we say investing in human capital is crucial to harness the demographic dividend and reduce poverty. So of course, we know that human capitalization is not overnight. It's not overnight. It's not something that we are starting now to maybe see the result now. But if we can start, we are sure of a better future, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot. Human capitalization takes a lot, and it involves all industries. Like I said now, when it comes to well-being, one who is not physically stable cannot be of any benefit to you. So even if you say you want to pay for that person's master's, or you want to sign that person up on the program, you still will not get any result, because the well-being aspect is still lacking. So Sustainable Development Goals, as you can see, is an umbrella of different areas. Is an umbrella of different areas when it comes to education, comes to health and wellness, comes to government, agriculture, and the rest of it, So it is all under one umbrella. So now, what is the role of SDGs in human capital development? Number one, again, quality education, building skills and lifelong learning opportunities. Educated individuals are better equipped to engage in high-value economic activities, right? So now we will go to the good health and well-being, which is the SDG 3 action, ensuring physical and mental wellness. So now we can't achieve number one without number two. We can't achieve number one without number two. So in technologies such as telemedicine, wearable health devices, AI for medical diagnostics, and so on, these are innovations that if we can invest in the people, if we can invest in the youths, if they can begin to grow in an environment where they are aware that the well-being of that environment is in their own hands, and they're also given the right to actually learn and become creative, then we can start to achieve the goal of creating an environment with good health and well-being. Because at the end of the day, this good health and well-being, we are still the ones that, as youths, that are able to do it. Over time, we're still the ones that are able to, come into this industry and look for problems and solutions on how these things can get better. And then, we introduce our solutions to the public, or, to this society. So we said a healthy population contributes to greater workforce efficiency and innovation. Again, one who is not in the right state of mind cannot apply any strength in education to therefore become someone who can innovate and give back to the society. Right, so decent work and economic growth, creating equitable opportunities and boosting productivity. Sustainable economic growth depends on skilled, innovative, and inclusive workforces by fostering decent work conditions and equitable pay. Individuals can thrive contributing to a stronger global economy. Now, these SDG actions that I listed here, I will still explain further that we as the youths are the ones that, will still eventually take up these responsibilities. Yes, they are call to actions. Basically, these SDG actions, they are basically also a call to action that if we can also join hands with this initiative, we can also help expand the reach of this action itself. So what I'm doing now is just basically to give you an idea that these things exist. These things are things that we need in our economy or in our environment or as a society. And how can you become part of it to also promote, this call to action, talk about it, or also you just having an idea that there is more work to be done and it's not just about the government. You as a human being can also decide. You also want to be part of an initiative where you can learn, you can become innovative, and you can create solutions that can also help the society as well. This is the reason why I'm actually talking about these SDG actions. So gender equality, again, in Nigeria, we know the issues we have when it comes to gender equality. It's either an organization where the men are paid more than the women, or the men are more than the women, the men are promoted more than the women, So again, gender equality, empowering marginalized groups of economic participation, gender equality maximizes the talent pool by ensuring everyone has access to opportunities, regardless of the gender. So how do we actually how do we create these realities? How do we create a reality for gender equality? How do we create decent work and economic growth? This comes from innovation, digital innovation. This comes from digital innovation. And before I wrap up, I'll actually share a few projects that we can see and know what it is like to actually create a solution that can actually tackle problems in various areas, that we face every day, basically. Right. Okay, quality education. E-learning platforms providing education access to underserved areas through mobile apps and online courses. But then, even when we talk about e-learning platforms, Nigeria doesn't even really have the reach to some regions. It doesn't even have, for example, network. Some regions in Nigeria don't even still have mobile network. So how then do we want to reach the youths in these areas through quality education, through e-learning platforms? This means that we also still have to innovate for infrastructure. We have to innovate for infrastructure. What I mean by innovating for infrastructure, what I'm trying to say is that if we can also create innovations that can work in line with whatever the government can also establish. For example, it's just like saying that they establish a mast, they have a mast, but then we don't have any satellite dishes on that mast. Can someone else bring the satellite dish? Can someone else program that satellite dish to send and receive network? Then are there innovators that will design mobile applications or even web applications that the people of these communities can actually access? But then also, can the government actually provide computers? Can charity organizations provide computers? So you can see that we are all still going to achieve this together. But the governments that can provide the mast or the satellite dishes or the computers, they may not have the capacity to create the software solutions, the digital solutions. So what we are saying now is that if we have an environment where we begin to incubate the youths to know that they can learn and innovate, they can now be as a solution to the problems that the government is facing. They can now offer themselves, they can offer their solutions to also help be as a backbone for the project of empowering e-learning platform in that community, for example. So when we talk about e-learning platforms, let's take Innovation-Bed AI. Innovation-Bed AI is just also another software solution. It's just also another software solution that can help in reaching out to communities or to people that need them. Innovation-Bed AI mentorship initiative of WSANigeria is an initiative of Programmers Foundation dedicated to empowering Nigeria's youth with skills and opportunities to thrive in a digital economy. So the goal of Innovation-Bed AI is to promote artificial intelligence literacy among youth in tertiary institutions, to promote artificial intelligence literacy. So you can say that though Innovation-Bed AI has created a platform, a software solution where you can actually, get access to, funded, government funded or, charity funded platforms like Innovation-Bed AI, where you can actually get an opportunity to come and learn, artificial intelligence and how you can use it, to the applications all over the world or anything like that. But Innovation-Bed AI still will not provide the computers. Innovation-Bed AI will not provide the network connections that we need, you understand? So it's the reason why, even in as much as we as youths, it's a call to action for us to know that we can take advantage of the things around us and better innovate to create a better society. We also know that there should be backbone platforms that we can rest upon, there should also be some efforts from the government side. There should also be some efforts from the government side. But in our own little way, we can also still create solutions that may not fully rely on the government. Again, I'll show you some examples of some projects that have won the WSA award over the years. And so you can easily relate to how these solutions are used and how they interface with the society itself. Decent work and economic growth, SDG 8, AI-driven job matching. Again, if we have a generation with a high amount of artificial intelligence literacy, so what we see here is that we can even use AI as a job matching, connecting job seekers to relevant opportunities, meaning that it's not even about someone, with a suit and tie going somewhere to sit for an interview, and then they ask you, what do you do? What do you know? Or you write an exam. Artificial intelligence solutions can better make these processes a lot easier, more efficient, and a lot more accurate. So what can it be? It could be, for example, it could be maybe on the application portal, you just have a few, puzzles or quizzes or things like that, where the system can actually just try to relate your knowledge with what they need. Not necessarily that you're going there, they're asking you some questions, and at the end of the day, they realize, oh, this person is not what we're looking for. But even from the portal, from the job seeking portal, you can already have an idea if these people actually, if you have what they need, or you can at least have an idea of what they need. So fintech for entrepreneurs, other microloans and financial literacy tools to empower small businesses. Again, fintech entrepreneur, for example, we have OPay, or is it MoneyPoint, and the rest of them. Though these people may not be really into the they may not have the capacity for how do I put it, to create a foundation or to create a platform for people to actually blossom like at a larger scale. So what they are just doing is maybe loan a few thousand to this person, loan a few thousand to that person. But then if we can create this kind of platforms to interface with the government, see how the government can also be part of these solutions and how they can actually make it make sense. Because if you have a solution like this and it does not have capacity, then it is not making sense to anybody, because yes, you have a solution, but it cannot really perform what it needs to perform because it just does not have the capacity to do it. So that's the reason why, again, whatever our solutions are, we should always remember that there are also some other things that need to be done when it comes to interfacing with the government bodies or charity organizations and so on like that. So good health and well-being, again, SDG 3. mental health apps, wearable health technology, telemedicine solutions, for improving healthcare access and reducing downtime due to illness and so on like that. There are regions, for example, that even there are no hospitals. There are no hospitals. Getting there also might even be a challenge. Even if you say you want to send an ambulance, before you get there, before you get the patients to the hospital, this also is a way of time wasting. But if we have solutions that can actually help them monitor their health before the danger happens, before it becomes too late, again, this is another way to save lives, even if we don't have a full-blown hospital, or even if it's just small, but at least they can also help monitor their progress, monitor their health, and then you can take action a lot quicker if action is needed. So, okay, yeah, we spoke about gender equality, and then, all right, so sustainability. Okay, yes. The benefits of SDG-aligned human capital development. Again, it builds a future-ready workforce. Inclusivity reduces inequalities and fosters equal opportunities. Economic growth drives productivity and innovation across industries. Resilience prepares individuals to adapt to changing global challenges. All right, so all these are solutions that we as youth can better understand that our environment needs, and we can start to look for how we can be part of the change, how we can be part of the solution, working together to provide long-lasting solutions that can help tackle. So, call to action, again, supporting, just as we said, like even we as youths, if we do not have the ability to take these actions, we can actually even just help advocate for these things. You can help advocate for policies that promote equitable access to opportunities, collaborate across sectors to amplify the impact, invest in edtech, health tech, and workforce solutions. So you may not even necessarily have to be the brain behind everything. You can just actually even be a small part of it. You can actually just be a small part of it, and that is already enough for us to make progress. Right. So again, now, the World Summit Awards support platform for digital solutions. As we know that this 3-day program that we've had so far is the backbone of this event has been the World Summit Awards platform. So what does the World Summit Award platform, what does World Summit Award do? It champions digital solutions. It enhances global collaboration, focuses on local impacts, and empowers innovators. Identifying, promoting digital projects that improve education, healthcare, and economic opportunities, especially in underserved communities. So what WSA is looking for is where we have solutions that can actually help to resolve issues that faces us in our daily lives, no matter how big the community is. It doesn't even matter how small the solution may be, as long as the solution is actually doing something, is helping something, that we are seeing the results. That is all that matters. WSA actually champions digital solutions. They also help to enhance global collaboration. There are some innovators who maybe have ideas, in fact, already using these ideas, applying these ideas in the economy or in their society, but they just may need an exposure. They may need an exposure to how other people are doing these things outside. How are they doing these things in their countries, and how is it working out for them? So this way they can learn to tweak their own solutions and actually better, match the standards of what other people in other regions and countries are actually doing for themselves. So focuses on local impact. Again, it does not have to be a worldwide solution. It does not have to be a global, actually it's a global award, but you can start small, basically. It focuses on local impacts and how is it helping your community? How is it helping, even if it's a community of 20 people, 30 people, how is it helping that community? And then empowering innovators, offering global recognition. Again, from global recognition, you also have the chance to collaborate globally. and network with opportunities for Nigerian innovators to refine and scale their solutions. So yeah, WSA also focuses on sustainable agriculture, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, and so many solutions that have been offered digitally. World Summit Awards is actually just that platform where you can actually come and showcase your solution and how it helps your community and so on and so forth. So I think I'll be wrapping up my presentation. And I think that's just about it. Just, create an awareness for human capitalization, the importance of human capitalization, and how does it align with sustainable development goal, and what we can achieve if we take advantage of human capitalization. So yeah, that's it. So that's my very short, I think I'll say very short presentation. That's my very short presentation, but I hope you picked one or two things from it. But before I go, let me just quickly share another screen and just show you what it's some solutions, some past solutions from other young innovators as well. Remember that under the age of 26, young innovators under the age of 26 have the opportunity to showcase whatever products that you have or solutions that you have created on the WSA platform. So let me just quickly get this. Just give me a moment. All right.
Right. First, let me just say thank you so very much there for all the expose. And
Yeah.
I think for the first time really in Nigeria, I'm feeling happier that I'm beginning to see more younger people talk about the World Summit and its contents. And I think this has been top notch. Thank you so very much.
All
And
right. So
of course, you can go ahead with the
yeah,
global,
just about 2 minutes or 3
this
minutes.
is now the global website of the
Yeah.
Summit Awards. And it's to let you know that even there, Nigerians are doing great things and we expect more. Please go ahead.
All right. So I will be sharing a few projects that we've seen in the past, though not just Nigeria. Yeah, okay. Fortunately, we have Nigeria here, but I also want to show you, for example, we have from Azerbaijan. Can you see my screen, please? Let me confirm. I want to confirm if you can see my current screen on the WSC Global website.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So we have a country here, Azerbaijan, for example. We have here Nigeria. We have here Kenya. And so this goes to tell you that it is a global platform where you have the opportunity to share knowledge and, gain knowledge and experience from people's perspective and how they handle their own regions and so on. For example, when we talk about the area of inclusivity, right, or gender equality, look at this. We have Women's Forum from Azerbaijan. Women's Forum from Azerbaijan is an online network for talented women from Azerbaijan and other countries to express themselves through writing. Amongst the authors are professional journalists, bloggers, and first-time writers. So you can see that it's basically has created an ecosystem where you can actually have a mix of professionals and even have first-time writers, coming together, creating an environment when the beginners can learn from the experts, and the experts can also learn from whatever it is that the beginners have to offer themselves. So basically it focuses on women's rights, career and family life, and so many other things like that, and helps promote a society that that issues like this are tackled or solutions are brought forward and so on. So if we see Natal Cares, for example, Natal Cares from Nigeria. So Natal Cares combines mobile technology, machine learning, and low innovation to combat maternal and infant mortality in Nigeria due to a lack of healthcare information in underserved communities. Again, we understand that the areas that it truly matters is what people are going after. So if you as a youth who is interested in innovation knows areas or local communities, where they need this kind of solutions, or that there's something that they may need, you can actually be as a tool to innovate and come up with digital solutions or be part of digital solutions in case, your background and the rest of it. So this is basically, the combined mobile technology with machine learning and low-cost innovation to combat maternal and infant mortality in Nigeria. So let me just quickly take one more. Code Green, Afghanistan. Code Green Afghanistan by Muzda. Actually, Muzda, I know personally, and I think she's been doing really, really good things. I think she's in Canada at the moment. And she came up with Code Green Afghanistan. It bridges the gap in education for Afghan women. This platform offers online resources for both girls in the country and Afghan refugees elsewhere. So you can imagine, even we know that these areas are hot areas, they're hostile areas. These are hostile areas, war all the time, unsettlements all the time, and this person still looks for a way to digitally bring solutions where she can still bring education to the Afghan women and both the girls in the country and even refugees. So we definitely will not go deep into this all these projects, but we have an idea of where WSA is going and what they're trying to achieve, basically. And we also have from Kenya, we have Farm Drive, based on social enterprise that is unlocking access to financial services for smallholder farmers. So yeah, this is what WSA is all about. This is what WSA seeks to promote, and I hope that you enjoyed this session, just a brief, short session, and thank you very much.
Once again, thank you so very much there. I appreciate it. And that wraps up the very first edition and speaker. And please let me just follow the protocol to invite my dear friend, Mr. Isaac Adeyemi. Mr. Isaac Adeyemi.
Good morning. Good morning,
to
everyone.
you. Is it right for me to say comrade?
Yeah, it's fine. That's fine.
Excellent.
That's fine.
Excellent.
That's
Excellent.
fine.
Please take the floor.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. I want to see if I can share my screen here.
Yeah.
Oh, only the host can share in this meeting.
Oh, 1 minute. I thought, okay, I may have not identified when you got in. Okay. All right. So please just do that the next second.
Okay.
Can go ahead.
Okay, let me share it again then. From my document. Okay. Okay. Oh, is my screen visible?
Right, it's coming up.
Okay. I think it's still loading here and it's giving me very, very blurry view now.
Yeah, same here.
But let me just start because of time. I really want to commend everybody for making it here today. I'm very, very sorry. I was supposed to be the first presenter, but I'm currently on my way to Lagos. My secondary school is having a reunion. So I had to just park somewhere to attend to this. So please permit me if my presentation is not, the slide is not so clear because it's not clear from my hand here. I hope everybody can hear me.
Yeah, please go ahead, please. You're good.
All right. I'm to speak on digital marketing and social media strategies. I really want to tell everybody that digital marketing and social media marketing is not a rocket science. It's not as if it's a very complex terminology that requires a lot of technical capability to make it to make it come into fruition. It's just the normal thing. I can tell you, we have been doing marketing right from those days before the internet explosion. So we have been marketing in a way, in African setting, we have what we call trade by barter, and there's a way we market our products. So the only difference there is that there has been an invasion of technology. You will all agree with me that the way you have been doing things has really changed ever since the internet came on board. For instance, before we send our things via post office, you write a letter, you go to the post office, you send your letter, you are the sender, and there is a receiver somewhere, and the channel of sending is the post office. So now we have, in a more easy way, we have emails. You are the sender, there's a receiver somewhere, the medium of sending it is the email. So you can see it's just evolving. And like one of my colleagues used to say that absolutely there is nothing on earth that is new. What we have on earth is innovation. Yes, what we have on earth is innovation. Just like Facebook started in a place, it's just a means to connect people. It's not as if we have not been connecting each other before. We have been having a series of connecting app even before Facebook. But the innovation that this guy, Mark Zuckerberg, put in this is what makes it so unique. So let me start by saying digital marketing, especially in Africa, is rapidly evolving, driven by the increasing internet penetration and mobile usage. So I love putting African settings because African example is going to really resonate with us. So that is why I used to use the African example. So I said, here are some effective strategies tailored to the African context, along with typical examples. So firstly, the first one I will talk about is mobile optimization. Optimization in a layman's terminology is just interfacing, putting your interface structure in a way that is going to arouse people, that's going to capture people. For instance, you are selling, let me see, what can I put as an example? You are selling fabrics. Your optimization should be tailored towards fabrics. When you are putting something else, that's what we call overlapping. And people will see you as somebody that is not so consistent in what you're doing. Because today they know you to be a fabric seller, and tomorrow you are infusing granules into what you're doing. So you are not optimizing your interface to suit the taste of the fabric you're doing. So like this strategy, given the high mobile usage in Africa, ensure that websites and campaigns are optimized for mobile devices. So I said example is Jumia. I think we all know Jumia. If you all know Jumia, can you just use an emoji so that I can know we all know what Jumia is? Maybe there's somebody here that doesn't understand what Jumia is.
Yes.
Okay. So this e-commerce platform, they focus heavily on mobile marketing. You see through SMS. Now, if you order on Jumia, you see them marketing to you even after ordering something. They still give you some messages to tell you that they have other products that you can buy. Imagine getting like 10 to 15 messages from these people. You might not even be needing something at a particular moment, but you just be forced that, okay, this message is just too much and this thing is very, very catchy. Can I just try to order this? Can I try to order this? Can I try to order that? Those are the things that Jumia does. So, and if they have a very mobile-friendly app catering to users in regions with limited desktop access. Often now you see people going about with mobile phones. The era of going with desktop is not just too palatable to take along with somebody. So you can only see people with mobile phone is even more easier than laptop. So what they do is to interface to people on what they like. Jumia know that definitely you'll be with your mobile phone. So they come in form of text, they come in form of SMS. In fact, sometimes they even come through your WhatsApp. Sometimes, yeah, they do that through your WhatsApp because they have what we call WhatsApp marketers in Jumia. So they come, the DM, tell you which product are you buying, all sort of. So that is what they mean by mobile optimization, which is a very essential tool for digital marketing. Let me move to number 2. I'm saying localized content. So strategies are you create content that resonates with local cultures, language, and traditions. So examples is Nando's. There's a restaurant named Nando in South Africa. So this restaurant chain. Okay, before that, Can somebody tell me the dominant language in South Africa? Can somebody tell me the dominant language in South Africa? Anybody? Hello? Can somebody hear me?
Of course, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm asking a question. Somebody can just unmute and tell me the dominant language in South Africa. There is a particular language that is unique in South Africa that is common to everybody. I want to know.
Africans.
Who is trying?
They speak English too, but I don't know. Or Zulu.
They speak
Is it Zulu?
The dominant languages are African. Somebody mentioned that. And we have Zulu. And we have Kiswahili too. They speak Kiswahili. So imagine somebody coming to market something to you in your local language. The first thing the person is trying to do is what we call trust. When somebody comes to you, imagine meeting an Hausa person and say in Nakwana, you have already you've bought the trust of that person, because that person will be like, so this person understands my language. So whatever you're bringing to them is most likely that they welcome the particular thing you're bringing to them. In one of my advocacy visits in Search for Common Ground, because I work for Search for Common Ground, and there is a project we are currently embarking on the Nigerian-Benin border. So I was opportune to be in Barotin local government of Kwara State, of which they speak Batonu. The first thing I try to do research on is the way they greet, especially in the morning, because most time we go there in the morning to greet the traditional rulers. I discovered that in their language, they say Akwando. So when you say Akwando, Akwando means good morning. So when I say good morning, they say Alafia. So the first impression that came to most of the emir is that, are you a Batono speaking guy? I said, no, I have to learn your culture so that I can just build the trust to speak to you. You can see how elated they were there. They were even very, very eager to take me on their language, because to teach me more things about their language. So when you localize things for people, when you localize content for people, there is tendency of people visiting or patronizing that your particular brand, because you've spoken to their conscience, to their custom, to their traditions. So that's what localizing content means to a digital marketing specialist. I'll quickly go to number 3. So influencer marketing. The strategies is just very simple. You have to collaborate with local influencers who have a strong following in specific niche. Example, look at Betway. Betway is a betting company, and they partner with popular local sports and influencers to promote their services, leveraging their followers' trust and engagement. You can see there is a particular keyword that is coming in, which is trust. Of course, if you don't have trust, there is no way you are going anywhere in digital marketing. Trust is the first thing. When this betting company like Betway, Sportybet are coming to Nigeria, the first thing is they work on people's need, because when they bring people like Okocha, Kanu Nwako, these are well-known sport athletes in Nigeria, footballers that people know. So imagine Okocha telling you that this particular Sportybet is a very recognizable brand. You can trust them, you can partner with them. This speaks to us. Some people that doesn't even know how to bet, but because they see that, okay, Okocha and Kanu is vouching for this brand, definitely they are brands that we can trust. Yesterday, something was flying on the internet about Obi Kubana advertising for a transport company, Enviable Transport. Most people doesn't know Enviable Transport, but because of the person of Obi Kubana, people are starting to build trust, because people have lost trust in those kind of things based on antecedents. But because somebody, they believe Obi Kubana is a very well-respected entrepreneur in Nigeria, he is rich, they believe this person cannot just be somebody that is going to scam them. So people leverage on local influencers. So in your area, for instance, you are opening a restaurant in your local area. There are influencers on TikTok, on Facebook, in that particular area, who you can talk to, and you can just be rest assured that they'll be willing to help you achieve your thing. You have to just look for means to leverage on things that are very close to you to market your brand. So that's why I say influencing marketing by using the local influencers. I'll move to number 4. So social media advertising. The strategies are very, very easy. Platforms like Facebook, I can say Facebook is the easiest for social media marketing. My reason is not far-fetched. Facebook, even if you don't have data, there's what they call free mode. So even free mode, you can always see some little adverts there, and people that doesn't have data can easily access Facebook via their easy mode. So using Facebook to leveraging Facebook for social media advertising is a very good strategy too. Of course, Instagram is another strategy because of the audio visuals on Instagram. And Twitter is another very important place. Twitter, the beauty of Twitter is that you can go to a trending post. When you see a post that is trending, you can go on that post. For instance, I remember there was a day I've been speaking with MTN to help me rectify an issue. I discovered they were not responding to it. You know what I did? I just got to a Twitter post that talks about delivery to me, because I know that's one of the trending issues in Nigeria, delivery to me and the tax reform bills. When you go to this particular place, you leverage on the coverage of the riches of this post to market your stuff. You go under it, you are not interested in the topic of discussion, you are interested in marketing your stuff. So on that particular post, I tagged MTN. But because MTN says that this is a trending post, they reply so fast on Twitter, something that I've been doing on email that they've not been responding very well. But because they believe that on that particular tweet can damage their reputation, they have to respond on that same tweet very fast to answer me. So these are the things you can leverage to do your advertising on social media to reach some kind of specific demographics. So like I mentioned, MTN, the telecommunication giant, uses target ads on Facebook to promote its data plan, focusing on young adults who are heavily on social media. They are you agree with me that population of the youth are the most very, very active on social media. So you look for ads, targets on where these people are to leverage this to make your own things come into fruition. I will go to number 5.
I can't hear him again.
Yeah, so sorry. You're okay. I know our speaker is actually having some real frantic effort because it's actually in transit. It's sure to join back, please. We've actually been listening to digital marketing, and in fact, I've been waiting for this version of digital marketing because this actually takes us back to our various homes. It takes us back to our various cultures. And I think this is actually more important. Earlier in this program, I had an international digital marketer also joined us in the person of Aslan Dawood. But then it was much more preferable I have digital marketing from an indigenous perspective so that we can balance out things. So Adekiton is back. You can unmute.
Sorry for that. I think that was my network.
Yeah, you can unmute and share.
That should be my network. Okay. I'm trying to share back. Okay. I'm back. I'm not so comfortable. I don't really like the slide, but I think I just have to manage like that. So, like I was saying, I say community engagement is a very, very effective tool for marketing. For instance, you'll be seeing some online marketing spaces on social media, especially on Facebook. These are the targeted place you can go to because let me give an instance. There is a group. I'm currently in Kwara State. I wanted to sell something very fast, and I have to just Google, on Facebook, I have to just look for a marketplace in Ilorin. When I got there, I put my details and every other thing there. I just posted what I wanted to sell, and within 2-3 minutes, people were already telling me how much was this. Where's your location? The reason for this is because of the issue of the space I'm using. Because they believe somebody that can come to the Ilorin marketplace must be from Ilorin. So they believe this person is from their community, and there is a kind of trust that this person cannot dupe them or fraud them. So that is the essence of community engagement. Like I said, it's foster community involvement through campaigns that encourage interaction and feedback. Example is anything. Open Your Own campaign. I presume we all can remember that open campaign. So this involves local events and social media interactions that encourage users to share their experience, enhancing the brand visibility and loyalty. Sometimes they will not even, they are not interested in their brand. They are interested in something that speaks to you. Let me take example of aromatic shinap. Aromatic shinap have been going to local communities to engage people in Yoruba. We call it Ayo Olopon. I don't know the English name, but I know they call it Ayo Olopon. Can somebody help me with the English name? Sorry, I don't really know the English name for Ayo Olopon. So what they do is they go to villages and they market their brand through this game. If you have been to a typical Ayo Olopon stand, that is where in Yoruba settings, that is where you hear the gossip of life. In Yoruba settings, there are two places if you want to hear the latest news. For men is where they play Ayo Olopon. For women is where they are plaiting their hair. So what this brand does is that they go to this Ayo Olopon stand, they bring aromatic shinap there, they host competition between these local people. Of course, when you are playing this thing, they have their backdrops there, their roll-up banner, their drinks and everything on a stand there. They give the winners and the runner-up their drinks and other souvenirs, which speaks about a lot about their brand. So this is a marketing strategy. Though it's not really digital, but at the end of the day, it's being recorded. They bring it up digitally. So on Facebook, they post the videos of these people playing. Some people that are also interested in Ayo Olopon, they feel a sense of connection with this on the media. Wow, can you please bring this to our own local area too? You can see bringing the visitor to the virtual space. They go physical, record their store physical, then they bring it from the physical realm to the virtual space, which also speaks to people that are connected to this brand and the game in question. So that's another effective strategies for community engagement and digital marketing. Another one is email marketing. Email marketing is usually is rampant in organizations, especially when you sign up to their newsletters. And sometimes you will not even know when you are signing up to these newsletters. I must be sincere with you. You will just be on social media. There will just be a space for you to put your email. Some people will not even read. You just put your email. The next thing you started getting email newsletters from this organization. By this organization, they are building their brand. They are telling you about what they have to offer you. So I said example is take a lot from South Africa's leading online retailers. They send tailored newsletters with discounts and products recommendation based on user behaviors. So it's a very, very effective way. So if you have not been using this, you can get list of emails of people that you see that they are well connected to this brand. You send newsletter periodic to them. Another example of somebody that does this is Sheyi Makinde in Oyo State. Sheyi Makinde use email marketing to market the affairs of the government to the populations in Oyo State. You get his newsletter every 2 weeks to keep you abreast of the happenings of his government. So this way, he has been able to market himself in the digital realm to people that really fancy reading emails. People like me, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I go to is to my email to check what is there, especially if you have been applying for something. That is what I do. So in this case, I've been seeing newsletters of companies and organizations that I've been subscribing to. So, and these have been speaking to me. In fact, sometimes they tell me what the organization is going to do next in terms of recruitment, in terms of internship, fellowship, and all these things. So if you have not been using it, it's a very, very effective strategies to use in email marketing. Another one is user-generated content. So strategies, you encourage customers to share their experiences and content related to the brand. You remember Coca-Cola, the Share a Coke campaign, which invited consumers to post pictures with personalized bottles, generating massive engagement across social media platforms. I remember when you buy a Coca-Cola, you see Share a Coke with Kemi, Share a Coke with Femi. You know, there was a time I was looking for Share a Coke with Yemi, and with my wife, I was trying to find a Coca-Cola that speaks to me and my wife and probably our children. So you can see by doing this by Coca-Cola, they are speaking a lot to my existence that, okay, you can share a Coke with Yemi. These are just effective strategies. And like I said before, there is nothing new. You just have to be very, very innovative about the way you do things. So if somebody is telling you, one day, one of my mentors told me that I was asking the man that I want to create a brand that is unique, that something that I can just sell to the people and they will just buy it. And the man just said, Yemi, there is nothing that is new under the head. What you will do is take the old things and innovate it so that it can meet the new it can speak to people's existence and people can just buy it. That if you are looking for something that have not been done before, you are deceiving yourself. What you have is take what is there before. Look at Netflix. You have been watching film before Netflix came in, but the way they innovate is what makes people buy their idea, and they have been using it. The same thing with Spotify, with Boom, with all these things. They are nothing new. It's just an innovative way of doing things. So in digital marketing and social media marketing, the essence of it is just to be innovative. Look for catchable hashtags that people are using. You look for an hashtag that is popular, use it on your brand. If it is not an hashtag that can harm your brand, use it. When people follow the hashtag, they are coming to come and see what you are posting too. So you just have to be creative. Then number 8 is video marketing. So strategies use platforms like YouTube and TikTok. You agree with me that TikTok is just the new normal for visuals now, marketing. Almost everybody is on TikTok. People that doesn't even understand TikTok, they are on TikTok now. And YouTube. I remember this guy, Ola, is a YouTuber. When he was talking about how he started and he was not getting views on YouTube, then he had to do things differently. And when he did things still differently, he started moving about to countries, getting views that was not even expected of him, that because he did it differently. If you are doing A like this before and A is not fetching you anything, you have to re-innovate. When you re-innovate, you see what you are doing wrong, how you are doing right. That's why in everything you do, you have to debrief. You debrief yourself, you debrief your staff if you have any. Ask them, what have you been doing wrong and what have you been doing right? What videos, what visuals are we posting that is attracting people? What videos are we posting that is not attracting people? For instance, I discovered on my brand, my own personal brand, what I discover is that whenever I want to speak to people on my platform, I have to cultivate using animal documentary. I discovered I used to get more views using animal documentary to market my product than using any other thing. So I have already renovated towards using animal documentary to market my stuff because that is what is getting me view. So you have to be very, very conscious of this thing. You have to innovate. Look at the 10-year telecom company using storytelling in his video as to highlight how his service improves daily life. This is resonating well with the audience, the intended audience. So in a nutshell, I would not like to bore you with the nuances of digital marketing and digital and social media marketing. It is not rocket science that I have pursued, but the ability to re-innovate, the ability to think beyond the box is what would help you. And remember, I said the first thing you have to do is optimization. It is very via lending. You have to optimize towards your career goals so that people in your career line can start seeing you. Because when you are there, For example, I'm a peace builder. I had to optimize my LinkedIn profile towards peace building because that is what is me. That is what I'm marketing. And that is why people in my industry have been extending hand of friendship, extending hands of fellowship to me because I have optimized my brand towards peace building. So like I said, it's not a rocket science. Digital marketing and social media strategies, especially in Africa, it requires a deep understanding of your local context, consumer behavior. You have to leverage your mobile technologies. You have to localize your content. Your content must speak to the audience. If your audience are Yoruba people, channel your localization to Yoruba people. If your audience is Africa in general, make sure you are giving them that is of African nature. Look at this girl, Yemi Alade. You see that in every World Cup, let me precise, maybe from 2010, Yemi Alade has always been called upon to come and sing in World Cup. What is she doing that is different? Whenever World Cup is very, very near, she will just go and release one album that speaks to Africa. You say, oh, Africa, all those things. They have to call her because it's African Cup of Nations. And there is somebody that is speaking about Africa here. So they bring this person to come and market the African Cup of Nations. It's just as easy as that. You leverage on what you feel is the best for your brand to get the desired result for your brand. It's just as simple like that. So by leveraging mobile technology, localized content, communicate engagement, brand can effectively connect with audiences and drive engagement. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have grabbed one or two things from this. And before I leave, there is something that I usually do for my people here. I will be maybe I should just drop that in the chat box. There is a project that is coming, a Iwajewa Digital Hub. I'll be looking to hire a remote video editor and graphic designer for this project, and there will be stipend every month for this project. So if this resonates with you and you feel you can do this, it can be a volunteering opportunity in your space. You can be in your school. Once you are good in this, you can always apply, and I would like to pick somebody from this group. Thank you very much. Over.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Mr. Diemi Adekiton. And man, that was a brilliant one. And that dimension of digital marketing really is actually in sync with what Nigeria and Nigerian culture really demands as of now. And please, on behalf of everybody here, we say thank you. Thank you so very much for that great speech. And my regards to your old school reunion as you proceed. Thank you so very much. Right. Please, every paper, just inbox me, so please, so that we can share. Thank you. Right. Thank you so very much. At this point, let me just take a short interlude to welcome my next speaker. And while doing that, permit me to welcome her by this WSANigeria theme song.
World Summit, it's the World Summit, it's the World Summit War. Niger, it's the World Summit, it's the World Summit, it's the World Summit War. Oh, recognizing inventors is the World Summit War. Oh yeah, celebrating good people. the World Summit Award. Oh, recognizing inventors is the World Summit Award. Oh yeah, celebrating good people. Oh, oh, yeah.
Right. So thank you so very much. At this moment, I wish to welcome Oluwadamilola Ojo, the founder, Skooks, and she will be speaking on preparing and perfecting your investor speech and pitches. So how this goes well from her experience, and of course, this is a global standard and a global experience. So, Oluwadamilola Ojo, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. All right, give me a few minutes, turn on my video.
If I remember, I miss being with you in Mexico. You had fun, I'm sure. How was it like? Start with that.
Yes, you said how was it at the event, right?
At the Winners Congress, how did you emerge the global champion? What happened?
Yes. Thanks for the amazing opportunity. Yes, so I applied to be a young innovator, right? At that time I was 25 and I was already doing something amazing here in Nigeria. So I run a company called Skooks, and basically we give technology education to young individuals, right? And in people in underserved areas, people who would normally not have access to digital education. So we train them at an affordable cost, physically and also through our e-learning platform. So I applied to be a young innovator, and yes, when I saw the email, I was like, wow, I made it. And we went to Mexico. And then we pitched in front of the jury, the investors, and people there. And I emerged one of the global champions. It was a beautiful experience for me. And like it just validated the amazing work we're doing, impacts we were making. Yes, so I've since then I've been encouraging individuals like myself to constantly apply for the WSA award and also for the Young Innovators Award as well.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. That was grand. And I'm happy on that session. We also had the likes of Oware. Oware actually was the winner in Harbor Labor Hack. And we also have the gentleman from Zamfara, Shamsuddin, with his open government and citizens engagement product called the ZAM Tracker. And I'm happy you guys are doing very well, and we'll keep monitoring you guys. And we'll come back to you. We'll keep our tabs on you, man. Thanks. And please take the floor. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Let's get him back again. I think Dami may be having a problem with her sound. Let me chat her to exit and come back again. Okay, great.
Yes, so switched network, so I don't think I should go out anymore.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Thank you. Take the floor.
All right, so I'm sharing my screen. Taking a very interesting topic today, and I would like to know, first of all, if there are any individuals here. So you run a business, or you have an idea, or you have a company, something like that. Is there anyone in that category here today? All right, so you can just
Of course.
Okay, so we have individuals like that. All right.
Yes.
Awesome then. Okay. Okay, so we have a couple of people like that. So yes, I know this session would be very helpful to us in that regard. Okay, so hi everyone. I'll be taking a session that is called Preparing and Perfecting Your Investor Speech. I'm Oluwadamilola Ojo, and I'm the founder and CEO of Skooks. I'm also a multi-award edtech leader. I run or founded 2 companies, and I'm a nonprofit strategist. So if there's anyone here that runs an NGO and would love some ideas, yes, you can always connect with me afterwards, and I can share some insights with you. So I'm going to start with this, and I want us to all say it together, if we can. 1, 2, go. How much you prepare will tell how important the presentation is to you. Are we all there? I want us to take this together. I want us to read these statements that I have in front of me together. Are we there? Yes, 1 to go. How much you prepare will tell how important
the presentation is to you.
to you. Awesome. Yes. So just like the statement says, how much you prepare will tell how important the presentation is to you. So if, for instance, you're looking to raise $100,000 or $1 million from someone or an investor, right? How much you prepare for that particular presentation, how much you prepare for that particular meeting will determine how important it is to you, right? So the more time you give to it, the more time you're more likely to get a yes from that presentation. So what is a perfect investor speech? First, we're going to try to understand what it means, what it's about, what does it do, why do you need it? So what is a perfect investor speech? A perfect investor speech is one in which you have effectively delivered the message. So I want you to underline some words. So effectively delivered the message about your business, right, in a way that meets the investor's needs, answers their questions, and convinces them to take the desired actions, right? So there are 3 keywords there. It needs to meet the investor's needs. It needs to answer their questions. And it also needs to convince them to take the desired action. So the desired action could be giving you money, it could be giving you support, it could be joining their accelerator program, right? So a perfect investor speech should meet these 3 things. Now, what are the steps to developing your business speech or investor speech? So I'm going to start with some important steps you need to take right before you now maybe even jump onto any presentation tool to create your slides. What are the things you need to start with first, right? The first thing is not for you to just jump to PowerPoint or jump to Canva and just start putting things together. There's some things there's some steps you need to take, right, to develop your investor speech. Number one is to conduct an investor's due diligence. What does this mean? It means you have to research your investor. I know, yes, there's sometimes maybe in the case of maybe competition, you might not know who the investors that would be there, right? You might not know who they are, but most often time, when you're pitching to an investor, you most likely already know who that investor is going to be, either from their websites, right? Either from the competitions page or the programs page. I know for us at the WSA Summit, right, the list of like juries or investors that are coming from like different countries, like it was listed there, right? So first thing you want to do is to ensure that you research your investor. Try to find out all you can about the organization, right, that they work for, what type of organization they work for. Are they a venture capitalist? Are they an early stage fund organization? Are they impact investors? You need to know all of these things, right? Find out who exactly would be sitting down in the meeting, listening to your pitch, right? You can go through now, the internet makes research like very easy. You can go to LinkedIn, you can check out their website, you can check out their different pages to try to understand the people you will be talking to. Also, you need to, in your research, you need to understand what their specific challenges are and how, right, you can relate that to your product or your service. So for instance, if you find out, oh, they are a venture capitalist company that invests in maybe health startup or fintech startup, right, you try to find out, okay, what are the things they're looking out for in the ideas that come to them, right? Research the previous people they've invested in. Just try to understand all of these challenges. Then you also need to know who are the key decision makers. So for instance, the person you'll be talking to in that meeting, is that person the key decision maker, or does the person need to take your pitch and your feedback and then give to a bigger board, right? That tells you a lot. And also, what would they gain by investing in you, right? What would they gain by investing in you? So most often, these investors put it on their page that, hey, we take so percent equity for so amount of money, right? Right, or we take this revenue share or whatnot, right? So you need to fully understand what they would gain by investing in you. Another key, we're still talking about the key steps to developing your business pitch. What exactly do you need to know before you even start putting things on slides? Right, number two, ascertain the pitch time and structure. Right, thankfully, for my company, I've taken part in different pitch competitions and also I've had sit down with different investors, right, pitching my product, right, to them. And I would say, right, you have varying times with these people. I remember there was a particular Lagos State Business Summit, right, that was a pitch competition back in 2021, yes. And initially we had in mind that we were to pitch for 7 minutes, I believe. But on getting that day, because of the total number of people, right, that were to pitch that day, guess what? They said the first round of pitching, to now know the people that would qualify to the next stage, you have to pitch in 1 minute. Yes, at this point, I saw a lot of people panicking, right? Like 1 minute, how will I pitch in 1 minute and all that? But because I have had like a lot of time to practice, I have practiced my pitch on that different time structure. So for instance, if I have 30 seconds to talk about my product and to get funding or to get the investor to take an action, what would I say? If I had 1 minute, if I had 3 minutes, if I had 5 minutes, right? What are the things I am going to say, right? What are the best push forward? So you need to first of all understand the time and structure, right, of the pitch you will be doing, right? Are you going to be using a slide? There's sometimes you might not even use a slide, right? Is there going to be time for question and answers, right? What is the type of audience you're speaking to? Is it a Zoom session? Is it a physical session? Also, you need to confirm the audiovisual equipment, for instance, the projector, for instance, the clicker you'll be using. I know there was a particular time at the pitch event, the clicker wasn't responding quickly, probably because of the battery, right? So, and you had maybe like 3 minutes to pitch, and most people were using a couple of seconds just to move from one slide to the next slide because the clicker had issues, right? But once I learned that and I got to it was my turn to pitch, and I realized, oh, the clicker is working. I had to improvise and say, okay, how can I pitch my business without necessarily, right, using the slides, right? There was also another time I had to pitch for a women's event, and when it was time for me to pitch, the projector and slides weren't coming up, right? And the time I started counting, the judges were there waiting for me to pitch, and I started my pitch, right? Because I knew my pitch, I would say in and out, right? And I anticipated this type of problems could happen, could come up, right? And at the end of my pitch, one of the judges commended me and said, hey, they were actually waiting to see what I would do if I would panic and freeze and not know what to say. But with how I presented, they could see that I fully was in this idea, like I understood the business in and out, right? So you have to understand all of these things when you're talking about investor pitch. Next thing is you need to prepare your pitch. Prepare your pitch. The first thing most people want to start with is a personal story, right? It could be about your business, your idea, your product or service, something that is related to your business, right? And that's something that the investors can relate to as well. So there was one story I heard about there was a guy that was pitching for like a product, and it started with a story about how a lady, when she was young, her parents died, and then she couldn't go to school. And then all of a sudden, when she even started school, along the line, she was raped. And like so many bad things kept happening to the story. And immediately, one of the judges shouted, Abba. Like, even if you want to say a story or you want to come up with a story that is tied to your business, try to make sure it's true or it has some sense of truth in it. Yes, people use these personal stories, right, when pitching about the business so that it gives a more relatable touch, a more emotional touch, so the investors can put themselves into the shoes of a user using that product or service. But at the same time, when you're coming up with that type of story, you need to do your homework and fine-tune it properly. Also, make sure you know all that you can about your business, right? Know things like, oh, who are the customers? Who are your partners? what are your finances, right? What's your marketing strategy? Know all of these things. It's going to help you even when you're presenting. Number 4, we're still talking about key things that you need to know when you're preparing for your investor speech. Number 4, proactively identify areas of issues. So what do I mean by this? You yourself make a list of like top 5 reasons that the investors may object to your presentation, right? And draft out a response to each of these things. So what this helps you with is, so no matter what questions the investors bring your way, you can easily have a response to them. And it's not like you are now blindsided and like you can't say anything, right? So try to anticipate what type of questions, right, your investors might ask. Number 5, make effective use of visual aids and products. So now we've gone beyond the age of you using slides that are not attractive, right? There are tools like Canva, like PowerPoint templates that can make your presentation or your slides come out really good, right? So use visual aids like that to make sure you're putting out an appealing pitch deck. And also incorporate demonstrations if possible. Maybe you have a demo video or a picture of what the product looks like. Incorporate those into your slides. And number 6, practice, 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 right? You cannot go wrong with practicing. Do several runs of your pitch sessions. Pitch to people that can give you feedback, right? And just constantly practice and improve on different areas. I know the very first pitch deck I put together, I think it was around 30 something slides. It was for this competition I was talking about in 2021, and it was when I gave it to someone, I gave it to one of my, I would call her a mentor, right, to look at it. You're like, Abba, like, how many minutes do you have to pitch? And like, you have 30 something slides. You can't even go through this. And at the end of that session we had, I think I was able to reduce my slides to about 10 with the most important things, right? So constantly have that in mind. Constantly have that in mind as well. So as I keep talking, if you have questions, please don't forget, you can drop them in the chat or in the Q&A box. So let's proceed. Now, how do you put together a strong pitch deck? How do you put together a strong pitch deck? So first, what is a pitch or a slide deck for some of us that might not know? I've talked about it before. So it's a brief presentation that is used to provide your audience with a quick overview of your business, right? It can be created using a software like PowerPoint or Canva or Keynote. Also, it is used during face-to-face or virtual pitch sessions with potential investors, customers, stakeholders, and partners. And now we're focusing on that of investors. So what does a bad investor deck look like? Number 1, too many slides. Like I said, then too much information, right? Once you have too much information on there, it's hard for people to follow you even when you're speaking. Also, too many product details, too much financial information. Like sometimes you see some people putting a screenshot of an Excel onto their pitch deck, and I'm like, wow, how would people be able to read this? Right. And also some people focus on putting down competitors. Yes, we know that, oh, you're unique and all, but you don't necessarily have to say that your competitors are doing everything wrong. Also, some people put out wrong data or faulty assumptions on their slides. So where you see people talk about, oh, 90% of maybe women die when they're giving birth. where did you find that source, right? Can you quote or can you put the source there, or did you just assume that particular data, right? So you have to take note of this. So what should your investors pitch deck contain? What should it contain? The first thing you should have is the problem statement. The problem statement, right? So at this point, you can start with a story, like I said before, or you just write the problem statement there. So what does a problem statement mean? It means what the problem that your company's product is trying to solve. So it's always better to put this in numbers, right? It's always better to put this in numbers. So like I said before, 2/3 of Nigerian youth are unemployed, according to UNESCO data in year 2022, blah, 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 right? There is a high rate of unemployment. There is a high rate of fraud, according to so person, right? Put those numbers there as your problem statement, right? Next thing you want to talk about is the solution. So what exactly are you doing to solve this problem? What exactly is your company doing to solve this problem? We built a mobile app to do this, or we built a website, or we built an e-learning platform, or we built a device, right? What exactly is the solution your company is doing to solve this? Number two, you want to talk about the target addressable market. So how big is the market you're addressing, right? How big? You start from a global scale to a national scale to like a local scale, right? How big is your addressable market? And break it down into the segments that you hope to focus. So I'll give an example. So myself, for this particular target addressable market size, I have, because I am in the education technology space, I have the total number of money being spent on education every year, right, globally. Then I have the total money being spent in Africa. And then I say, hey, I'm going to address 1% of the Africa's market. All right, so you want to break this down into, right, what is the market you're looking to address? And interestingly, all of this information and data are available. You just have to search for them depending on the space you're in, depending on the SDG goal you are you're solving, right? All of these data are available. Number three, you want to talk about the business model. How does the business run? How does the product work? How do you make money? How does revenue come into the company, right? Or into the business? Okay, you want to talk about this on a slide. So at this point, you want to say something like, we run a subscription model, or okay, people pay a fee, or people pay 10 naira to buy this product, right? So you want to talk about how exactly is the business or is the product making money? You also want to talk about what your current traction is, right? What your current traction is like. Okay, how much have you made so far, right? How much have you made so far? So far we've sold to maybe 15,000 at 20 naira. So we have 300,000 naira, right? So you want to talk about that. And you also probably at this point want to talk about, okay, maybe future revenue streams. All right, or by next year, we're looking at adding this new service. So we would be adding an extra revenue stream, whereby, okay, schools or teachers also pay us so amount of money to use our services, right? You want to talk about this at this point, right, under the business model. The next thing you should have is your go-to-market strategy. Your go-to-market strategy. How do you intend to acquire customers? How do you intend to acquire customers, right? And so you need to have thought about this in-depthly. Okay, how would you market this product? How would you ensure that the product is in the faces of people and they readily know that your product exists? So how do you plan to get customers, right? So in my slides, I have going to schools, engaging associations of school owners, right? I have like speaking to parents directly, or social media marketing or things like that, right? But you need to have thought about your go-to-market strategy. Number 5, competitive landscape. At this point, you need to show a chart that has the competitors that are in this space and how you're different from them. Sometimes people might say, oh, we don't have any competitor. We don't have any competitor. And we're the first one of a kind doing this, right? But at the end of the day, we're talking about competitors within your space. So competitors, basically, if you're researching about it, right? Competitors are more or less like people that have have your same type of target audience and are vying for that amount of money that you want to take from your audience. Okay, so I'll try to say that again, right? That they are people that have products that are vying for the same target audience as yours, for money from their pockets as well. So if there is any product out there that, okay, you want to charge 20 naira for your users to use this, right? Is there another product that people would rather pay for, right, than pay you your 20 naira? Okay, it might not necessarily be in the same, offering the same service, but so far that particular thing is taking that income that the customer should have used to probably pay for your product, right? Those set of people can be among your competitors, right? So you need to have a chart that shows your competitors and how you're different from them, what differentiates you from them. Okay, next you need to have a sort of forecast, like a growth trajectory, like where do you see this product in like 3 years, in 5 years, right? You want to have that growth trajectory. You also want to talk about your traction. What stage is your company currently at? Have you started making revenue? Are you pre-revenue? How much have you made? What are the important developments you've had? For instance, you've gotten accreditation, or for instance, you've raised maybe previous funding. You want to have all of this here as well. Then we go next, you talk about your team. So in talking about your team, it's not just about you just putting pictures of your team on the page. You have to talk about their previous work experience, just highlight it, highlight their skills, highlight their educational background, highlight their achievements. And also if you have like a board of advisors, you can also put them on your team page, right? So that they can add more wealth of experience to your team slides. Next, you want to talk about the funding, how much you raised so far, from who, what was the validation, or what was the percentage, and how did you spend it? And then you will now want to talk about how much you are looking to raise and at what valuation and what do you want to spend it on. Lastly, or yes, last but not least, to talk about the sustainable development goals. So at this point, you want to state what SDG goal your startup aligns with. So at the end of the day, depending on who you're speaking to, or depending on who the investor is, would help you know which of these slides or which of these points to prioritize. Okay, so an impact investor, for instance, you would definitely want to prioritize your sustainable development goals slides. You want to prioritize your impact story. You want to prioritize your impact numbers and your reach, right? Okay, so those are the things you want to prioritize. That's why I started with the key things you need to do before you even go on a PowerPoint to start putting together your slide. You need to understand who exactly you're pitching to. There are some investors, they are more focused on the numbers. They want to see your traction. And oftentimes there are other investors that are more focused on the team. They want to see who are the people behind this particular product. So once you understand who the investors you would be pitching to, is that you know which of these slides to prioritize. But if you're not given like the prior knowledge of who the investors is, it's always best suited to have these 10 points that I've mentioned on your investors deck. So what are some important tips that can also help you? Number one, avoid giving like generic speech, right? Don't generalize things. If you know you're speaking to investors from ABC company, whatever speech, whatever presentation you're making should be tailored to them. Use a simple language, right? Don't start using some gibberish, right, that people might not necessarily understand. Also, treat your pitch like a conversation. You're speaking to people, so look at them, do hand gestures, define the flow you want to go with, then dress professionally according to the audience, according to the environment that you're in. Also arrive early so that you can settle down, so that I can check the audio, the projecting equipment to be sure that it's working well. And one point I want to mention is gracefully accept rejection, right? There are times whereby, yes, you might not be the best suited company for that particular investor, but based on your relationship with them, or based on how you take like their own rejection, they might have another opportunity or another investor within their network that is looking for someone like you. And yes, they would probably want to recommend you. Same thing goes for competitions as well, right? Even if you're rejected, you don't make it to the final stage, don't go ahead and start bad-mouthing that competition, right? You might not, there might be other opportunities, right, that would come your way, even through your relationship with them. Also, learn from what has worked and what did not work, and constantly adjust your pitch, right, for the next one. So I know I was trying to apply for a particular competition, and the first round, or the first time I applied, they talked about, oh, I needed a sustainability model. The second time I applied, same reason. So by the third time, I had worked on that feedback. I'd incorporated it into my idea, into my slides, and I got accepted into the program the third time. So we just learn from these tips, and I hope all of this would be very helpful. So I've come to the end of my presentation now. Don't know if there are questions you've had or you want to just share like experience you've had with like investors pitching, or it might not even be investors pitch, might be maybe for a grant or a competition. Yes, so feel free to share. Thank you once again for having me.
Thank you once again. Thank you so very much. This is a closer. I know he really closes everything about a pitch. Some of you guys are good about this. I'm not at all, sincerely, because I'm not even just used to. I just do things that I can afford to do, because sometimes I don't even know how to face them at all. So when they say angels, I don't even know who they are. Because first is I have to be angel of myself, but you will get to know. But then it's really very, very insightful what you have shared. And please, if there's anyone here, and please, I see everybody here, you are an entrepreneur, so I really won't give anybody any excuse. And I sincerely want to pick on people. I want to hear from Adaobi Arinze. I want to hear from Adaobi Arinze. Now we are interacting with these messages. Let me take a word from Adaobi Arinze. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Please, can you please speak a bit to our last speaker's position about the pitch deck and what you understand, or what experience you may have along this line before? Just share something.
I currently have no experience along this line.
Okay. Like
but
me.
yes, but I have a question concerning the SDGs.
Excellent.
She mentioned that you have to make sure that whatever you're pitching also has to align with one of the SDGs. What if what I'm pitching doesn't really have anything aligned to the SDGs? Do I still go ahead, or I have to look for something that really aligns with it?
Well, if I may allow you to go ahead, I believe if you're into innovation, there is one thing, even if you carry a compass, something about innovation will always take you to one arm or one line of the SDG line. Please, but then, Dami, go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Adobe, for that question. So yes, there are 17 SDG goals, and under those 17, if you look at it well properly, they all have like subtitles or sub points, right? So if you fully study, like Mr. Amos said, or Mr. Emmanuel said, if you fully study the SDG goals and whatever your idea or your innovation is, it would definitely be aligned to one of those goals. Because oftentimes, if you're looking to raise money, you have to align the problem you're solving to the SD goals, especially if you're looking to raise international funding, right? They all look at these things. So find a way to align what solution you're creating to any of the SDG goals.
Thank you.
Okay, so also just to add, so for those that are entrepreneurs here, I want us to always be open to applying for opportunities. I know a lot of us here, I don't know, we're running businesses, we keep complaining here and there that, oh, there's no funding to run this, but you need to know that there are opportunities out there. And if you don't apply for it, other people out there would apply for it and they would get it, right? And you that are really solving a problem, making an impact within your community, you feel, oh, you don't have what it takes, but you actually do, right? Putting together a pitch deck is easy, if I would say, right? There's if you go on Canva right now, right, you just type pitch deck, you would see thousands of templates that you can work with, right? There are AI tools out there that can easily help you fine-tune your storytelling and all of those things. So always just package yourself, package your idea in something presentable, and just be ready to share it and take out opportunities.
Well, thank you. Let me have Afolabi Bayo. Let's hear from Afolabi Bayo. Is Afolabi Bayo there? Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon,
Great.
ma. I have a question. I want I want more light on it. When creating a pitch deck, like creating a pitch deck like that, when we're working on our revenue aspects, how and I want to work in line with what the investors are willing to invest in the business. How do I know? Should I just put the amount that the business need, or in accordance to what the investor is willing to invest in the business? So I want more light on that aspect. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what we're talking about is not necessarily revenue, is more, you're talking about the acts, right? The acts for funding. So like how much should you say you're looking to raise? Should it be based on what you guys need as a company, or based on what the investor is willing to offer? Right. So from my experience, people would always say, or even investors themselves will say, don't ask for more than you need. Don't ask for more than you need. Because what often happens is, for instance, maybe you only needed $20,000 and you went ahead to raise $100,000. What happens in that case is you now have so much money with you, and you know, this idea, we are humans, right? Once we have money with us, like we just want to spend money on everything. So even problems that you should have solved just by brainstorming, you would just want to throw money at it. So if you do your research properly and you think about some companies that have closed down in this last 1 year, you realize that most of these companies recently raised funding. You see companies that raised $3 million, and then 6 months down the line, you are hearing that they are shutting down. And you'll be asking yourself, why? Why would a company that just raised $3 million be shutting down in just 6 months' time after they raised funding? Most of the times, what happens there is they got too much money than they needed, and funds misappropriations come in. At that time, you now see them hiring so many staffs, and then you now hear, oh, so company laid off 100 staffs, and you're like, how come 100 staffs are working on this company? What exactly are they building? And they're not Facebook or Google, right? So I would often advise, try to do an analysis of what exactly you need money for, and then raise funding based on that. But I know oftentimes founders, because of the stress of fundraising, they'll just want to raise so much money once so that, oh, they will be fine at least for the next 1 year, 2 years. But once you have too much money, right, it brings, I would say it brings more problem to you. So just try to understand how much money you need at that exact time. But what you want to do is build a very good relationship with the investors, help them understand that, yes, this particular amount of money we're raising right now is for like a 1 year runway. And then maybe in 1 year time, we're hoping we can still come back to you, and then you help us raise our next round. So that's based on the relationship you build with them, and how much traction and how much growth and how much maybe return on investment they see you making with the initial money you raised for them. So yes, don't ask for too much than you can actually spend. I know also there are some times whereby we might be tempted, for instance, or if you see an investor and they say the minimum check they write is 250,000 naira. And maybe what you need is just 50,000. What that needs to tell you is that particular investor is probably not for your stage or for your level. Try to look for an investor that gives checks of $50,000, right? And then work your way but yeah, you can start the conversation with the other investor and say, hey, although right now we're raising $50,000, but in our next round, when we're looking to raise $250,000, we hope we can reach out to you and like share our journey with you, something like that. I don't know if that answers your question.
All right. So thank you. If I don't see your hand, I'm coming for you. I'm now calling on Omolola. Omolola. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Matt, for this opportunity and for the lecture. Okay, my question, man, is I wanted to know when creating video pitch, what are the areas that you need to focus on? Okay, the reason I'm asking is that I recently won a $5,000 grant, and I also use the same video I use in my presentation, and I also applied for another 3 million naira grant, and I was disqualified. So I was not thinking, what did I do that I wasn't qualified for this small money? So I don't know if we can just help us with what are the areas when pitching a video pitch, what are the areas you need to concentrate on and or concentrate on. Thank you, man.
Okay. Thank you, Omolola. Yes, that's a very, very good question. And I know it applies to a couple of people in my field of work as well. So yes, the first thing I would say, I know I mentioned it. I said avoid giving generic speech. So most often, right, when it comes to video pitch, we generalize a lot of things. For instance, you won't mention the type of grant the name of the grant you're getting. You won't mention how that grant is going to be beneficial. Like you just have a generic video pitch talking about your business. And oftentimes, if you look at the criteria of maybe they'll probably have given a video criteria, this and this is what we want to hear, right? You say in this pitch. And if you don't say those things, yes, you might not be qualified. And also they might be looking for some keywords, possibly maybe some SDG keywords, or they're looking for just some things that you might not have mentioned in the previous video that worked for the other grant. And even sometimes, because of your video, they might think you are, let me say, overqualified for the 3 million naira grant. But if you had created a video uniquely for that 3 million naira grant and you tell them, hey, well, if I get this 3 million, I'll use it to do this, buy this, they know that, okay, this 3 million would be beneficial to your company. So take, for instance, maybe a Dangote now apply for a 3 million naira grant program. Or immediately, like, the person would disqualify that type of person because they don't necessarily see how 3 million might be beneficial to them. But if that person specifically says, okay, this particular 3 million naira is going to help us open another funding pipeline, right, through this and this, then yes, they might be considered. So oftentimes, I know it's a lot of work, a lot of stress, but try to create unique videos for each of those applications, or have like maybe 3 or 4 video options based on the criterias, those that are focused on your traction, those that are focused on your impact, those that are focused on your team, and something like that. I don't know if that is helpful.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. Thank you very much, ma'am. Please, ma'am, I have a last question.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
my last question is that when applying for grants or applying for applying for grants, most of the question they will ask you how many investors, how many companies, or how many companies have invested in your business. They will ask you to list and ask you the amount. Okay, my question is, I was not thinking recently, as Nigeria in me, like, would they be thinking that these people has already got enough fun that she doesn't want the fun again? But that in business you keep investing and investing. Would they be thinking that this person have already got enough fun? There's no need to invest on that again? I don't know. Can I just clear that aspect for me, ma?
Okay, yes. It's perfectly normal to think that way, but think of it from their own side of things. They want to be sure, number one, that you have received money from other people and then that you spent the money in the right, doing the things you said you were going to use it for, and then you didn't just travel to London and to go and enjoy yourself on a vacation, right? So that's oftentimes why they ask. So yes, in as much as you're going to be listing all the places maybe you've gotten the grants from, you also have to show, when you're talking about your traction, what are the things you've achieved. It has to be evident that those money you've received previously have had an impact in your business. It's not that you've received maybe 20 million naira in grant funding before, and you've not even made up to 100,000 naira in revenue, or you don't even have up to 100 users. People like that, they would not be happy with a situation like that. So if you're collecting grant money, there has to be evidence in your traction, it could be in your appliances or your factory or whatever tools you've bought. It could be in your revenue. It could be in your production line. You have to really detail, okay, these are the ways this funding I've received from previous people have affected my business and had led to the growth and of the business, right? So once you can assure them that, then yes, they would have rest of mind to say that, okay, this person has like a, let's say a good credit line, like, okay, we can give this person this grant as well.
Right, we're still on our Q&A. Let me hear from Adinka. Adinka. I'm sure today we all prove that we are all businessmen. You see, everybody has that business acumen in him. Adinka, are you there?
Yes, of course, I'm here.
Excellent. Please share out the business in you, the businessman in you. What's your question or contribution to this?
So the thing is, let me first say that it has been an interesting and well inciting sessions from the first speaker, okay, down to the third speaker. And there's something about human capital development which I so much love, and that was shared by the former WSA youth ambassador. Okay, and for the human capital development, I see human capital development so much contribute to the GDP of every nation, because for every individual who have digital and sound education and who have good and sound health, they can practically contribute to the economy of every nation. Whosoever does not have a good health and good digital literacy does not have the capacity, okay, to contribute to any or to every economy of that nation as bona fide citizen. Okay, so human capital development, especially on education and health, should I say, they are the two frontiers that every individual need to be impacted with. Okay, and there's a need for me to make a difference. There's a need for me to create impact within and beyond the borders of the Nigerian economy, or within and beyond the borders of the community where we reside or where we are resident in. Okay, so I so much understand and love the human capital development side of it. Now, coming down to the pitch it to investors. Just during the first session we have, the first day, okay, that was 2 days ago. One of the speakers was talking about the power of storytelling. The power of storytelling. Okay, and we can't take out storytelling outside pitching a product or a service to potential investors. Why do we talk about the power of storytelling? It captures the mind. It bridges the gap in a human connection. Those are those things. Now, whenever we are pitching to an investor, and these investors, they are not our fathers, they are not our mothers, they don't care about you, they are not your daddy or your mommy. Okay, they only care about the value you are. They only care about the value you are unlocking as a startup, and what they will benefit from that product or service you are rendering to a target audience. So that I feel with the power of storytelling, we can bridge that human connection, and we can share this emotional side of the identified product, of the identified problem or pain point we are addressing with our products or services. Now, my question goes this way, okay? Because with sustainable development goals, with the sustainable development goals and the factor of sustainability, okay, that should be enshrined or embedded in every product or services we are addressing or coming up with. At what stage, okay, at what stage or at what part of our pitch deck should sustainability be embedded? Even without, because I know we surely talked about the sustainability part of our product or our service to investors. That is super important. But at what stage or at what part of the pitch deck should sustainability be embedded? Because there are some investors who would like, okay, if a product or service does not have this factor of sustainability in it, okay, or if a product or services or the founder or the co-founders does not share that the factor of sustainability of that product or service to these investors, it's a no-go area for these investors. So at what stage or what phase should sustainability factor be embedded in a pitch deck?
Thank you so much, Denka, for that question. Yes, so like I mentioned, if you were listening, I talked about, so the very first thing is to research and understand what type of investor you are dealing with, so you know how to fully organize or arrange your slides, right? So if you're dealing with an impact investor, you know that your SDG goals or your alignment of your product to an SDG or sustainability goal should come at the beginning. So I would say probably at the solutions page, okay, this is the solution we're solving. This is the solution we're providing to this problem, right? And it can be found under SDG 4 or quality education or things like that, right? And then you can put like a picture of, like a simple picture of the SDG 4 image or icon would surface right on that particular page. An impact investor would automatically recognize that particular logo, right? Another place you can also put it is under your business model, right? Okay, this is how we make revenue, this is how we make impact, right? So you can also put it under your business revenue, or you can put it as a standalone page, possibly before your act, but it all depends on what type of investor you are speaking with. Once you understand that, then you can always play around with what position that particular slide should be on. Like I said, you can put it on the solutions page, you can put it on the revenues page, meaning, okay, how do you sustain this business? What's the sustainability model in addition to your business model, right? So you can put it there as well, or you can put it on probably the page before you ask, but it's all depending on what investor you're speaking with at that particular time, or what investor is looking at your pitch deck at that particular time. The interesting thing about, like I said, is you yourself determine the flow as to how you want your pitch deck to go, So for instance, if you have probably organized your pitch deck, but when you're about presenting, you now realize that the person you're presenting to is very crucial about knowing your sustainability model or your sustainability goal, then you yourself can take your slide, your deck to the particular slide where that was mentioned, and you talk about that, and then you now continue with your slide. So yes, you're in control of your slide, so you can always go back and forth as you like.
Thank you.
Copy that. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sure that was brilliant. Let's have Eunice Schreiber.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Eunice.
Good afternoon, ma. Oh, okay. So I have. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much for the session, and I have applied for a lot of impact investing pitches, and I've actually not gotten like a space to actually pitch any of my ideas. But one thing I do is that I actually attend, they give me an invitation to attend the event. So I listen to other people pitch their ideas. And when I listen to it, I'm like, oh, I should have done this instead of this. So like I have so many ideas in my head, but like I'm not putting them in the right form in this. Like this is what they want, and I should have given them this instead. And I just need a way to like streamline my ideas to what we actually want. I don't know if you understand my question. What I'm trying to
Yes,
say.
I totally understand you. So you've applied for a couple of programs or competitions or grants, and then you realize you don't get picked, and then you go to the event, and then you see other people's slides, and you're like, oh, I wish I had done this on my own slides as well. So, that was why I started from the beginning. I didn't just start with, okay, creating how to create your slide. No, I started with the key things you needed to know. That is the research of the people you're dealing with, understanding the data, understanding the type of programs, the criterias, what they want to see. Amazingly, some of these competitions or programs, they tell you this and this and this. Oh, we want a 7-page slides that should contain this, and this, right? So those people have already helped. They've done your homework for you. So you don't need to like beat around the bush. Just give them what they want to see and fine-tune your pitch or your idea based on that. So what I would say, Eunice, is that the next time you're applying for something like this, I know, yes, you might have a pitch deck you've already created previously, and like you're too maybe tired to create a new one. But oftentimes that you need to remake and redo your pitch deck over and over again. I know right now I have nothing less than I've redone my pitch deck nothing less than 50 times, right, in the course of like me running this business, nothing less than 50 times. So that tells you how many times you have to continuously revisit your pitch deck. And like you can have, like I said, pitch decks based on the type of investor or program you are dealing with. Once you understand this, you will know how best to put things forward. And there's something I want to tell you as well. There are places where you can go online and you would see pitch deck of other people or other companies in your field, right? I think if you just go online and you search for example of pitch deck, you should see some samples that you can, yes, immediately if you go on Google and just type example of pitch deck, you would see I can see 15 great pitch decks. I can see 30 examples of pitch deck. On Slide Bin as well, there's 35 plus examples of pitch deck. There are places you can get sample pitch deck, even relating to the idea and the space you're working on. And it's not until you get to the program and you see other people's pitch before you now realize that, okay, this and these are things that should be on my pitch deck. Go online, do your research. You would see samples, tons and tons of pitch deck of successful companies, right? Of impact-based decks, right? That you can steal ideas from, right? That you can copy from. Honestly, you just have to fine-tune those pitch deck and now tie it to what you are doing as a company. Eunice, I hope that is helpful.
Right. Thank you. Let me pick on read one. Which one? Wow, read one. Are you here? You'll see that everybody here is business.
Yeah, hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Yeah, this is my first time here actually, and I'll be using this opportunity to extend my heartfelt gratitude to you, my especially your dished out exclusive pattern, or better regarded as strategic criteria to investors pitching. So, ma, I have only one request to make actually. Is there any way the particular PDF you shared to us could be reached out for, so to facilitate our preparation ahead of every or any pitching desk, ma'am? I'd be grateful to get in touch with them. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so I would share it with Rimos, and if you're part of the community, you would share it with you. So far, you registered. If you registered for this program, yes, you should be able to get it across to you.
That's correct. Every member will pick all that. And let me also announce here that between now and the new year, this 3-day event, and I know there's still going to be an on-ground and on-premise event at the University of Lagos on the 21st. And we're going to sample people who have registered but missed this program, because we have a platform where all these recordings are there, particularly on the Innovation Bed AI mentorship platform. All the 3-day events and recordings will be there. And we're actually engaging people for the long term in the course of this. And we're actually going to give quizzes, particularly where people who missed can actually go through all these videos and attend to the quizzes. And based on performance, certificates will be issued by Programmers Foundation to participants at the end of the day who qualify. And this will be announced at the new year. I'm sure Samuel Johnson just came in. He's just listening to this. And then Oyedamola also just hearing this. Oyedamola, let me pick on you. What message do you have now? You've got business ideas? What's that next grant?
Yeah, thank you so much, Damilola. That was really enlightening. Personally, I have a social enterprise that I've been building, and it really gave me ideas on also how to put together a pitch deck, how to pitch for maybe grants or pitch for collaborations or partnerships with organizations, and it was really cool. Thank you so much. I got some insights.
Great. And in the house, and I have Samuel Johnson. Let me just pick on him. Where have you been?
Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
I'm trying to put some ideas together for the grant rally in this situation.
Right. You joined us when we're just having a Q&A. I'm sure you may not have had most of the presentations, but then you still have your time to wrap up, because at this stage you'll just be rounding up. But I wanted to just be sure. I wanted to pick that business, that's business acumen in many of us. So I'm picking on people. Permit me to pick on one more or two persons. That can be. Everybody has this business acumen. Share this stuff. And I'm sure based on some of these presentations, you may have been in one way or the other provoked. Let's hear you. Akombi Olamilekan. Akombi there? Okay, we're not. Let me pick on Amos Akirele. Amos Akirile. We can't be students forever. Even students are business people. Even students are researchers who have all these things, and they need to know what to do. Is Makinde Joseph having a word?
Hi, good evening. Good afternoon, everyone. It was nice listening to all these sessions, and it was quite to learn new things every day. We keep learning. The learning process continues. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Dami Ojo. And thank you, everyone here. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you. So at this moment, we all gladly appreciate the effort and time of Damilola Ojo and our Global World Summit Award Nigeria winner. And she remains the youngest Nigerian who has performed, who has ever had that feat in my 16th year. My 16th year of volunteerism on the World Summit Awards as national expert, I've had that coming from Dami. And to be frank with you, some years back in 2013, one other product who also had very great outcome was a company called Budget. Who here knows Budget? Anyone here? Aha. Budget.
Yes, I know.
Excellent. And many years after, up till today, you can imagine what they still do and are still doing for the future. This is innovation. These are people with the visions. And you don't necessarily have to wait for a government. I wish I had one. Unfortunately, no, they're not there. So you just need to do something to just help yourself and the society immediately. And this is just it. So please permit me to welcome Samuel Johnson officially for him to give a proper word of thanks for this event, 3-day running, and is the brain behind the WSA Entrepreneurship and Innovation Bootcamp that has run for 3 days. Let's hear from him. What's made him do this? Mr. Johnson.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Amos. Thank you so much. Even if I got zero to see spirit. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I want to say very big thank you again to all our facilitators that have taken the precious time to put slides together, to put the presentation together. It's not an easy thing. If you have once been in a position to teach, to present, you know there's not easy to put all these things together. So let me say very big thank you to all the facilitators, all the speakers once again, for taking out their precious time to impact, to create impact to our future entrepreneurs and aspiring innovators. Thank you so much once again to all the facilitators and to the team, to the planning team of the WSANigeria 2024. I might be the brain behind it, I might be the convener, but a tree does not make a forest. So I want to say very big thank you to my team mates. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for everything. Out of being you guys also still dedicate your time, the passion, the resilience, and making sure that this comes to a big success. Thank you so much to my team. I really appreciate it. And to our partners, the University of Lagos, the Entrepreneurship and Development Center, UNILAG ITMO, Bio Properties, Hatchers Feed, and Innovation Very AI is thank you so much, Simon. I really appreciate all you do. Like, I gave you a call in less than 2 weeks. That's let's do this together. And I was really amazed, like, okay, Sam, don't worry. I sense what we have in less than 24 hours. You got back to me, that was so sweet and encouraging, it's something that keep pushing me that okay, Sam, keep pushing. There's someone behind it that can actually push you. And when you look back and there's nobody, you might want to like stop what you're trying to do. But then if there's somebody that is supporting you there for you, it's a whole lot. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate all you do. And the reason why we put this together is to actually, I do believe in something. I don't believe in people complaining that the government is not good, the country is bad, this and that. I tell my friends, I don't complain. Let's be solution providers. Where there are problems, there are also opportunities. So let's see a way how we can convert those problems to what opportunities, create value, create jobs create solutions that is going to solve problems and also create impact. And as well, you can also make money. It's not just about solving problems, but then you also make money when you solve problems. So I don't believe in a situation where we complain about the state of the country and how things are. But I want all of us here to see ourselves as solution provider, especially in this era where the economy, like the recent policy and all what is going on in the country is not favorable. These are the times that we entrepreneurs and innovators need to think out of the box. Let's look at the problems around us. Let's look at how we can solve this problem. It's not like you can start locally, like you can start from your community. When I was in my year 2, University of Lagos, I saw a problem in the educational space in my community and I started a business, Sound Services. And it has grown and keep growing. So saying this to everyone on this call, let's look for a way to also solve problems around us and make this country a better nation. There's no way me, I cannot just out. I used to my friends.
Samuel's sound there.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I think on that note, we bring this program to an end. And thank you, everybody. We'll share all that we need to put together and everyone will get copies of our subsequent information.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy weekend.